What's good? Joshua Grady here. Hope all is well. Today is Monday, November 2nd, 2020. I am here in Nashville, Tennessee. For those watching on YouTube or IGTV, you see here, I don't know if I've recorded on this side of our kitchen table before, but behind me are two paintings. You can decide which one is better. I did the one on this side over here. My wife did that one. That was a birthday present. My wife took us up to a place here called Love Hill, I believe is the name. And it's just kind of this place where you drive up to this hill that's elevated and you can see kind of the, just downtown. You can see the, what's it called? The sky, what's that thing called? Where is this, like the top of the towers? What is that called? Why do I not know that? It's the skyline, I think that's the name. Okay, so, and you can see that from there. So it's just a really good vantage point, and Lydia took us out there for my birthday, and we did a little painting with a twist, and just this cute surprise that she had for me up on this hill. And so we painted both of these here. So just kind of, that's me going on a tangent. With that being said, just want to kind of give an update on just where we are with everything. First and foremost, shout out to my guy, Jordan Wilkins. If you don't know who that is, follow him on Instagram at JordanWilkins20. Jordan is a client of mine in year 3 for the Indianapolis Colts, and Jordan had a great game yesterday. He played really well. Honestly, not something that was too surprising, I would say, and I don't mean that in a cocky or a braggish tone, but something that we've been talking about for a while with Jordan is, if he was blessed with the opportunity to really get a good amount of touches, 18, 20, whatever that looks like, we felt, that he could, and he's been confident in speaking that, just felt confident in his ability to perform, and he just did really well with the opportunity. I know that he's grateful for it. I know I am definitely a proud agent for sure. It's just to be able to see your guys, again, he's in year 3 for him being in Indy. He's loved it there, but he's always felt like there was more that he could, bring to the team, bring to the table. And just felt like, again, that his ceiling hasn't really been, tapped into yet. And I fully agree 100%. And just for him to be able to be given the opportunity yesterday to, just kind of showcase a little bit more of what he's able to do and what he can contribute, to the team, to the offense, it's really good to see. I think that's the main thing. And for me, seeing, again, him being in year 3, he's our longest, tenure player in the NFL, and to watch the progression, I would say, of his career, and just for him to be able to have a moment like this, I know I'm grateful for it, and definitely, proud, I think would be the main word that I would say. Now, naturally, I'm hopeful that he'll be able to get more opportunities in the future, but again, just grateful for that, and to be able to sink into that more than anything else. So, on the college side, in regards to recruiting is heating up. It's definitely speeding up. We are in November now. So in November, it's crazy. So in November 2nd. That's insane. Feels like the year just started. So it is November 2nd. So we are in peak recruiting. Right now, we are watching every game that we can of the guys that we have on our list. I think I might have mentioned on a previous episode, we kind of started out with 150. If you hear some slurping in the background, that is my dog Chance. But we started out with maybe 150 to 200 guys on just this big draft board that we just built just this big draft board based on a numerous amount of different variables. And as the season has progressed, really going back to as the spring progressed, the summer, the fall, some guys get added on, guys get taken off, guys get added on, guys get taken off, guys get dropped, guys get added, whatever it might be. For a variety of reasons, again, and right now we are at a point where we have roughly 11 guys that we're now able to hone in on. 11 guys. When the season started, I want to say we probably had like 40 some guys still on the list, guys that we talked to at some point or reached out to, whatever it might be, had some sort of connection with, but now 11 guys that we are honing in on as the fall progresses, and that's a great thing. I think for us, I don't know, everybody asks, how many guys do you think you're going to sign? I have no idea. I think we have a limit. I would say a top side of 7. I still think that would be, I think we could definitely make sure that everybody had the intentionality needed to progress in their career, both on and off the field. However, I think ideally, maybe anywhere in the 3 to 5 range, but we never know. We might sign 1, we might sign 7, so I don't really know. I'm just grateful for whatever God has. And I mean, it could be 0. I hope not, I will say that. But, we'll see what happens. Just try to take the process one day at a time, trying to really, as much as we can, build these relationships. Obviously, these guys that we are, the 11 that we're focusing on, they are all playing ball right now. They're all in the season. So trying to still maintain that distance, because one thing I've learned is you can be too, active or aggressive in your recruiting cycle and trying to build a relationship when you have to realize, even though you have a good feeling, this player more than likely, as we're in November, they're still, unless they've said otherwise, they're still undecided. They really don't know, even if you might think that you have whatever good rapport with them, and you might, but that doesn't mean they're going to sign with you. And so for me, just trying to maintain that balance of always, more than anything, be the encourager as the season progresses. So whether that's giving a text once a week or every other week, just encouraging them if they had a good game or needed a pick me up, whatever it could be, keeping them updated on where we are. One thing, going to the fact that it is the beginning of November. Combine training is in theory going to begin. We'll see what happens with COVID, but in theory it's going to begin in roughly 2 months. So as an agent, we want to start getting things prepared for the guys that we do end up signing, so that everything is COVID steady, so that we can hit the ground running in regards to training. Because wherever you're going to be with combine training, this is something that I try to really hone in on with parents and with players, is you're going to be there for 2 to 3 months. You don't want to be a guy that goes to a training location, doesn't like it, and then has to go to another location or whatever it might be. You want to make sure that you go to a location that you've done the research, you've done the due diligence, and a place that, again, you feel comfortable and confident in the environment, the space that you're about to be in for a very critical point in your life. So that's something for sure that we want to get ironed out, hopefully before the middle of December. I try to give ourselves maybe a December 15th kind of deadline, like, hey, by this time I really want to know where our guys are going to be, but I'm sure we'll talk about that as we progress in the fall. I'm trying to think, is there anything else that we might have to touch on? I guess we got a few interviews coming up. Maybe that was one thing I should have said. We have a few interviews coming up if you're listening to this. I haven't been consistent as I want to be in regards to getting some interviews out, but be on the lookout sometime, maybe this week, and we're going to try to get some interviews out. I'm very excited for those. There's a few that we have kind of on the timeline that I think are really going to provide value to individuals that are listening. I think it's going to provide some fruit for those that are tuned in. So definitely encouragement. I really think once this recruiting cycle gets wrapped up, we're really going to push the podcast. We're going to try to get a lot more interviews lined up, whether that's in person or on Zoom, just to start creating more dialogues. I think we're going to start expanding more on the content and just trying to get more consistent, like I said, the main thing. So for those that do listen, I tune in. Of course, I look at the numbers. I tune in. So for whoever y'all that listen, I really do appreciate it. Greg, I know Greg just left me a review. Greg left me a review on iTunes. Greg, I appreciate you. Or on Apple Podcasts, excuse me. So for those that do listen, if you do listen occasionally, I would really appreciate it if you could leave me a 5-star review. That helps get us a little bit of notoriety out there. If you could leave a like if you're watching this on YouTube. If you do like this content, maybe you don't, that's fine. A subscription, all of those things really do benefit the podcast. So like I said, trying to get this recruiting class lined up. We will have some interviews coming up. And then really think the Agent Talk podcast is going to be the main focus, not the main focus, but one of the focuses, especially as we gear towards 2021. So stay tuned. We're going to get it popping, okay? All right, that's really all I got. Joshua Grady here. We're out.